On this week's episode of the Jesse T Show, we have Shiv, foodie and founder extraordinaire. Welcome to the show, Shiv. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming to the show.
Anytime.
Yeah. How's everything going?
It's going well. Just finished up my last week of my internship.
Okay.
So it's going well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now this show is all about you, so we want to find out how you're building your success and the things that you've done through your career and how you're building future companies now, which is really exciting. You can share that with the world and potentially inspire or help someone along the way. So the floor is yours. Tell us the story of Shiv, your career, your history, and what you're doing today.
Definitely. So I'm actually a student at Emory currently. I'm a rising senior, getting my career in life just started. So all this stuff I'm doing right now, the whole story began like freshman year. I actually went to University of North Carolina, Charlotte, and then transferred to Emory my sophomore year. And going to Emory, I just realized I want to do something. I want to change my life. And a big passion of mine was food. I loved food. Like I would take classes in culinary schools like when I was in high school. So like food was a big part of my life. And so I started an organization called Food Founders. Basically what we were doing at the time, we had no idea what we were going to do. We were just bringing in disruptors, innovators, CEOs of like cool food companies like Honest Tea, Boom Chicka Pop. We had Angie Bastian come, also Seth Goldman come, and just talk to students about it. And for us, that was a big deal, like bringing these big talkers, speakers, people that are changing the way we think about food, and bringing them to campus and kind of talking to us, like what's going on, like how they're doing. That was really inspiring to me and to the people around me. And like seeing that, like my roommates and everyone saying, "Shit, that's amazing," and all, like that really motivated me. So doing that, we had a summit that was happening at Emory. It's called Entrepreneurship Summit, and we had, she's gonna hate me saying this, but one of my current directors, she was there recruiting at the time. I wasn't involved in this organization called Junior Enterprise, and she just stumbled upon me, and she gave me the card, and I was very intrigued by it, so I was like, might as well do it. And I didn't realize that this organization just started a few months ago in the US. So we were just getting started, and I got the interview, and they were like, this is what's happening. I was like, whoa, it's a very high risk, but might as well do it. So what Junior Enterprise is basically an all-student-ran firm. They can do any services, financial. We have architectural design ones in the US. The most popular one is consulting. And overall, like, people are really excited about it, but just because like you're creating a student company and you're building your resume, but without like all the headache of having a strong resume to get a strong job and everything. And we were bridging the gap between industry and education, because like as industry's going on nowadays, like it's innovating, it's changing, and like all these like Uber and everyone is coming, and the education system's lagging behind. So we found a way, like that's a perfect place to bridge the gap, is giving students the experience by letting them run their own companies.
That's awesome.
So from all the way from the president, executive director, down to the people that are working hard and delivering the projects, all students. And we're a global organization, 44 countries now.
Oh, wow.
Personally, I have my own one here in Atlanta.
Okay.
Prime Consulting, I'm the executive director of Prime. Also for Junior Enterprise USA, I'm the executive director and extension director, part of their executive board, and I'm also a global council member currently. Like I said, we change every year, so those roles will be changing for mine. And then that's how it led up, from Food Founders to Junior Enterprise, and now that's exposed me to the entrepreneurship world, introducing me to you, and it's been crazy. It's been a roller coaster now. I've been going all over the world. Brussels, France. I just got back from South Korea, and now I'm going back to DC, It's been a fun time, and more importantly, it's been a learning time. Like, I have learned so much about different cultures, how entrepreneurship works all over the world, how we're in a perfect position in the United States versus in Asia. Europe's growing, even though they're in older countries, they're still not as ahead as the U.S.
Sure.
And that's a surprising fact that did me.
So what are you working on today? And what is the goal for the rest of your time while you're doing this?
Yeah, so what I'm working on today is currently, I have my own startups as well that's ventured me out of that.
Sure.
Junior enterprise world. Currently at Junior Enterprise, we're working on still expanding right now. We're getting more partners and everyone, just working with good people,
Sure.
people that are ready to change, that are going against the status quo of the traditional industry. So we're focusing on people that are more consciously driven, purposely driven,
Sure.
Socially driven. So
People that want to change the world.
exactly, yeah, make a better world. So working at a 9-to-5 company shouldn't be working at a 9-to-5 company in a cubicle. It should be more engaging.
Sure.
You should see the impact of your work, and more so giving back to the community. That's our biggest motto. Is like our entrepreneurs, our companies that we work with, give back, and we've seen very positive feedback.
What are some of the ways that you give back to the community?
Yeah, definitely. So we host events and stuff, bringing entrepreneurs. So, for example, we're working with an organization called Conscious Capitalism.
Okay.
For example, in Atlanta, we're hosting a few events that are coming up, and we're connecting, like we're offering help, like by having volunteers and students
Bringing
come
the
out.
resources.
Exactly, and they're bringing in like these speakers, and we're basically just creating a networking zone where students and these entrepreneurs that are changing the industry meet
Get
and
connected.
kind of like perpetuate that virtuous cycle.
Yep.
So as new businesses pop up, they know, okay, I just don't have to make money alone. I can make sure everyone's lives is good and make money.
Sure. So you have probably a high-profile group of students, a talent pool, if you will,
Exactly.
to pull from for different things that they can work on, different ventures. How do you go out and source companies to place them with or connect them with, whether it's they're going to do a contract with a company or they're going to do an internship or they're going to help build out their company with what they can do? How do you get those connections made between the students and the companies or the people that are out there?
So regarding recruitment, it's kind of like going door to door. I'm literally just knocking on the company's door, emailing them, just like, hey, like this is who we are. I would love to talk to you. Sit down, get a meeting set up, and just go at it. Like spearhead it. Like there's no secret to it. It's just trying.
Sure.
I have gotten 100 no's, and out of those no's, like the ones that say yes are the ones that will stick with you for like a long time.
What has your return been? So out of 100 no's, are you getting maybe
I'm
like
probably getting 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what's been the biggest challenge with this venture outside of your startups, which we can talk about in a second, but this current venture with Junior Enterprise, what's been the biggest challenge in building the scope of it? I mean, what's anything holding you back or that you've had to overcome in this venture?
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, we're a global network. We have 58,000 students.
Yeah.
So we're working with a lot of these students, and time management. As small as it sounds, it is something that, again, I'm a student.
Yep.
That's a big thing that I had to overcome managing school and doing this, traveling too.
Yep.
And, I mean, how I overcame it was literally buying an agenda, using Google Calendar, and being very meticulous with it. I became very detailed and also very, very much like adaptable.
Yeah.
Because everything, let's be honest, like out of 10 scheduled events, 9 of them are going to move.
Yep.
That's what I've learned.
Yep.
And just being adaptable, being prepared with it,
Sure.
and being flexible. That was the 3 main things that I was.
The one thing I've learned in my time as an entrepreneur is the art of saying no. And really just, there's a lot of thought leaders are out there, and some of the world's billionaires are very protective of their time, and they learn how to say no eloquently, but, they have to manage their time down to almost a second.
Yeah.
And so processes that you have with an agenda, which I use, kind of old school, right? But then you also have Google Calendar, and so having those systems to kind of automate your calendar, but also being flexible is huge.
Exactly, yeah. And as small as it sounds, an agenda is a lifesaver for me.
It is.
Like the physical, like my brother, who's like older than me, he's doing a PhD right now, but he was like, why are you still using an agenda? He's like, you're a businessman, aren't you trying to change the world?
Right.
Aren't you working in tech companies and stuff? I'm like, Yeah, but agenda.
It's good to use them in conjunction.
Exactly.
That's worked for me. I use it when I do workout every day, and so just tracking that in there, and then also just kind of making sure my meetings are in there, and I break down the day. Mondays is my social media and my prospecting through social media. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is my sales appointments, and then Friday is my admin and my planning for my financial business. So having that broken down visually is a game changer. And then coordinate. I use Calendly and Outlook and these different things. So, what is one thing in the junior enterprise that you've had to overcome, or like a stumbling block, a speed bump, something that you've run into that was a challenge? What was it, and how did you overcome that?
The biggest problem going in was I had no experience of sales, of talking to people, and how to even market just junior enterprise in general.
Sure.
Like that pitch, I had to learn. I had to overcome the fear of talking to people. That was something really, really that I struggled with.
What were some of the tools you used to do that?
Yeah, it was just over time as I started doing it, I would practice in the mirror looking at myself. Yep. As scary as it sounds. I don't want to see myself all the time. And just talking with myself, going through the pitch, and just practicing over and over.
Working on mechanics and the word tracks and being comfortable in your own skin.
Exactly, yeah. And just the hand motions and everything that go around. It just took a while, but after a few months of it, you get used to it. It becomes second nature.
So now
just sticking with it.
So just staying on top of it, always kind of refining your craft, always working on it. And so now talk about some of the founder side of your business, where you're wanting to start companies and starting companies, and what are you working on with that?
Yeah. So Food Founders was the first organization I created. That was my first taste of it.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. And everything went wrong with that one. I know that. That could have gone wrong. We learned so much from that. I've personally learned so much. And now we're taking Food Founders and we're relaunching it. Like, we're scrapping the whole idea and we're refounding it. We're launching it as a food incubator around the world.
Okay.
That's the plan right now.
How that's a huge scope.
That's a huge scope.
How does that whittle down to the micro? Because the macro is the world.
Exactly.
The micro. So how do you connect and build in these locations? Yeah.
Exactly. So the idea is we have a few key partners that already do what we're doing.
Okay.
But they do it in specialized industries. So they're targeting a specific sustainable development goal set by the UN. So they're food companies that target no hunger or being very eco-friendly, using very environmentally friendly practices.
Yep.
What we want to focus on is creating conscious companies, not necessarily targeting the SDGs we would like for them to. So we're partnering.
What was that acronym that you used?
SDGs.
What is that for the viewers?
Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals, I believe, set out by the UN that they're problems around the world, and they want to eradicate it by 2030.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like no poverty, no hunger, infrastructure around the world.
Really making a difference.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. And these are global terms.
Okay.
So yeah, we want to launch that. Again, this is beginning stages, so no promises it works. Knock on wood. It does work out. But that's the point of an entrepreneur, is going through the
failing and not giving up.
Exactly.
For me, I wouldn't say my life's been a failure because we've had a lot of successes, but through my life, I've had fall on your face, you have to get up. That whole cliche, fall down 7 times, get up 8, right?
Yeah.
So if you never stop and always keep trying to work on it and get coaching and get better, as long as you don't quit, that usually leads into success, right?
And like that reminds me of a Rocky quote.
Okay. Love Rocky.
I remember it as one of the movies. It's when he's old and his son comes all grown up and is like living in his shadow.
Yeah.
He's like, life's gonna beat you down all the time. It's just a matter of fact of getting back up. That's it.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
And that really stuck with me.
I think the quotes he talks about, nothing's gonna hit harder than life.
Exactly.
And you just gotta keep showing up.
Exactly.
Great story, and it goes along with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of bumps and bruises. Sometimes it's lonely, but you're also putting in the work behind the scenes. So it's almost like getting the reps in the gym where no one's watching, so that when the big day comes, right, when you launch the company or you merge or you get bought or whatever it is, you're scaling the company, people see the glory, but it does take that hard work to get there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So now with the rest of everything you have going on for this year, what are some of the goals you're trying to lock up by the end of this year?
definitely finished school strong.
Awesome.
Finished up my senior year, so
congratulations.
I want to finish strong with school.
Are you gonna cross the stage next year, or is it this year?
It would be May 2019. So
okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
This upcoming academic
awesome.
year.
So are you getting excited, nervous, a little bit of both, or
a little bit of both? Just because I don't know what I'm going to do.
Sure.
It's still something like I'm venturing into. Also, I'm finishing up school, so new life, new chapter. You're leaving that old life back, and also becoming independent.
That's right. That's right. And so now, kind of moving into, you have so many things going on, and you're young, and the world's at your fingertips. Looking at the end of, 30, 40 years from now, you'll still probably be very active at that point, but 30, 40 years from now, what do you want your career to surmise? What do you think that you want to have done in the world, and how you've changed the world? What does that look like?
Definitely. People want to be financially secure. People want to be famous and stuff. For me, it's making sure I leave a legacy behind. That's the biggest thing I'm scared of, is people will forget me.
Sure.
Not necessarily becoming famous, but just like, hey, like he did something in his life, something like that. Also becoming financially stable. I mean, that's another part. That's just
makes it easier.
Exactly, makes it a lot easier. Takes a lot of headaches out.
Sure.
But yeah, that was a big factor that's driving me right now. I do want to create such an impact in the world, positive impact, where people recognize me.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds like you're doing all the right
Yeah,
things. So we're going to jump into the rapid fire, where people get to know a little bit more about you, the things that motivate you, the things that you've done, how we could potentially help some of the viewers. So first up, role model or mentor that's helped you tremendously in your life.
Definitely. Right now, as cliche as it sounds, this is my dad. He came to the U.S. around, well, both my parents, I shouldn't say just my dad. They both came around, I believe, 20, 30 years ago.
Okay.
Could be wrong about that date. They came with nothing. They're from India. They worked factory jobs. My mom worked at Taco Bell as well. And now my mom doesn't work anymore. She's a housewife now. A domestic engineer, pardon me.
Domestic engineer, I like it.
And now my father runs a company. He's the CEO of a company now. We do hospitality management. So he owns and manages hotels now.
So you learned a lot probably through
the
work ethic, the hustle, the grind.
I grew up in a hotel for 13 years.
Yeah.
I learned electrical work through that. I was doing making beds, doing the housekeeping work, also doing filing and stuff when people or kids were outside having fun and everything.
Yeah.
And I basically learned all my hard work and ethic through that.
And the whatever it takes mentality to
Exactly.
get the job done, and being enterprising, which has made you kind of this founder and this entrepreneur, being able to do some of all, kind of dangerous in a lot of different categories.
Exactly.
Talk to me about, and this could be around the world because I know you do a lot of traveling,
Yeah.
so favorite restaurant and or food.
Ooh, I'm a big French fry person.
Okay.
Okay. McDonald's is like my kryptonite.
Okay.
My kryptonite.
So we're gonna stretch you a little bit here. So McDonald's, everyone can go to. Where have you
McDonald's
been?
isn't my favorite.
Okay.
It was just one restaurant in Spain. It's the best French fries I've had. I forgot the name.
What part of Spain were you in?
It's in Barcelona.
Okay, Barcelona. Yeah. And what was it about the fries? Did they do anything extra to the fries, or just the fries
Oh
themselves?
yeah, it was definitely bougie.
Yeah,
That's
it was bougie.
It was like a special potato. They fried it in duck fat.
Okay.
Oh, so good.
That's legit.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
It only comes with like 6 fries.
Okay. Are the fries huge?
Yeah, they were thick.
So if you're ever in Barcelona, what's the name of the place? Do you know?
I do not know. It's
Okay.
like on the coast though, I think.
Okay.
I forgot.
Awesome. Duck fat fries. 6
Duck
fries.
fat
Way
fries,
to
yes.
go. Craziest thing you ever did, or that has ever happened to you?
We were in Italy I was doing a case competition there, and gosh, we were, the Milan airport closes like earlier than most airports, so our flight was like 6 a.m. in the morning. We were stuck there for over 12 hours.
Wow.
So
wow.
we just ventured out and like, it was crazy.
Took over the airport.
Yeah, literally. No, well, we went out of the airport.
Oh, you left the airport to go move around because there was nothing to do at the airport?
Yeah, there was nothing at the airport, so we were just walking through woods and neighborhoods, and then we went back to the airport. And they
made your flight on time?
Oh yeah, we made it definitely on time. We were 12 hours early.
Yeah. There you go. Because that would be messed up if you left the airport to go have some fun and then you miss your airport.
Yeah, it was an interesting time.
What are you currently reading or listening to?
I'm listening to an audiobook and kind of reading half and half. a book called Firms of Endearment.
Okay.
It's from that organization called Conscious Capitalism.
Sure.
And it talks about companies that are not just profit-driven, but purpose-driven.
Sure.
And they tend to make 10 times more money than regular companies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's something that I'm reading right now. And what I'm learning out of it is culture is a big part of a business.
It's everything. And I think
Exactly.
in today's market, in today's job place, I think it's evolving at a good clip where now it's part of the vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
You have thought leaders like Simon Sinek who talk about Start With Why.
Yeah.
Has an amazing TED Talk that's changed my life where people buy authenticity, they buy who you are, and you have companies out there that emote that and lead with that, and they build a culture not only with their clients but with their people that work with them. They become almost partners in a sense, and they buy into the purpose and the belief versus just having a job. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think that's really huge. A time where you learned from a issue I think you were talking about in this current internship that's helped change the way that you do business or operate in your career.
Definitely. Right now with this internship, I'm getting used to the schedule of morning meetings and everything. I mean, very strict and all that.
Sure.
And so what I'm learning right now is you got to prepare.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how small the task is or how big it is. You have to prepare for everything.
What does preparing look like for
Like,
you? Do, like
for
the
example,
night before, and like what does it look like? Any processes you use you could share?
Yeah, definitely. So as simple as probably if you have a morning meeting, making sure everything is running right, because I have my battery run out like today.
Oh my goodness.
I had to get a jump. It got fixed though. That type of stuff, having your clothes laid out, for example. Regarding pitch wise, making sure that even if you have a talk for 30 seconds versus 2 hours, those small talks matter more than the big talks. You got to prepare even more for a smaller task.
To make an impact quicker.
Exactly, yeah.
Makes sense to get your point across in such a short amount of time.
Exactly.
And then as far as a current hobby or a passion project, you can pick either one. What's one of your hobbies or a passion project?
I love food, so I'm experimenting right now, crazy.
Okay.
We're trying to make protein bread. It already exists.
Protein bread.
Yeah.
Is this for higher intake of protein just with the bread?
We were just messing around.
Okay.
My friend and I.
Okay.
We're just throwing protein powder.
Is there any other benefits like maybe gluten-free or all that stuff?
Yeah,
or?
we made gluten-free dough, and then we're just throwing.
How does it taste?
Oh, it's horrible.
Is it? So you're still beta testing the actual
heck
flavor?
yeah. It's like hard as a brick.
Yeah.
Like we're
A
trying
lot of protein, tastes awful. Like most protein things.
Yeah,
out there.
exactly. We're trying to find out how to
balance that.
Yeah, how the heck are we?
I'm a bit of a foodie too. I love to go to different places. I cook a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and my next thing is working on a really good dough for a pizza and like something that I like where it's crunchy but has good flavor, and then the pizza itself. So I'm working on a nice little pizza. I'll let you know how that goes.
Oh,
yeah.
You better invite me over.
That's right. We will. So as far as you talked about legacy, and it's funny
Yes.
because that's on here, is kind of how you want to be remembered. The legacy you want to leave behind. If you want to touch on that again, what would you like the world to remember about Shiv?
That I've tried so much stuff, and even though I failed a lot, like I stuck with it. Like, it's never giving up that attitude stuff. What I would like to portray to people.
Sure. And then this moment is for you. So anything that you are working on, anything you want to plug, anything that you want to talk to the people about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love working on new ventures, new ideas. Crazier the people, the better. I mean, I'm not saying myself. I'm pretty crazy, weird myself. So, I tell this to everyone. Students, talks I've done, people, high schoolers I talk to. It's like, doesn't matter how you start. It's how you end.
Sure.
Just because in high school I wasn't the most popular. I was a fat nerd.
We all go through awkward stage in high school.
Yeah, exactly. And when I went to college, I was like, I want to change that. And as soon as you want to do something, you can do anything.
Put your mind to it.
Exactly. As cliche as it may sound,
Yep.
it is actually true. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything you want. And I changed my life. I wanted to travel, so I found a way I can travel. I've gone all over the world, made friends all over the world.
Awesome.
Also, even though I've had hiccups in my past life, I've overcome that, and just being happier. Happiness is very invaluable.
That's a form of wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I want to tell to everyone. Happiness, and you can change whatever you want to do.
And how can people connect with you for future business ventures, to connect with you? What's the best way to get in touch with
Yeah,
you?
definitely. Message me on Facebook. My name is Shivam Jariwala. I'm sure Jesse will link it somehow.
Sure.
Message me through my email. I'll be able to use that as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm always open to talking to people. Just reach out and don't hesitate at all.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Shiv, it's been a
thank
pleasure
you so
having you on
much.
the show. This is Shiv. I'm Jesse. Join us next week for the Jesse T Show. Take care.